right, local swell trackers, it is Sunday, gosh, the 10th, and we're hindcasting here. Thanks to Storm Surf Models, we are going back Monday the 4th. This guy right here on our side of the date line, that got really close. They've all been getting really close thanks to the jet stream having a lot more steam in it and dipping right down on top of us. Been a lot of splits in the jet recently. Before we were seeing most of it for November, pushing jet up and over into the Aleutians, and we're getting these storms coming right down off the East Aleutians and in the Gulf. It's sort of a similar pattern, but this time a little bit more north-northwest versus north to north-northeast. And this right here showing 12 to 15, maybe some 18 footers last week, Wednesday the 6th. Bringing these further, the next pattern was right here, showing Friday the 8th, and this system right above us with plenty of energy to its west. That thing got, that second portion got built really good, got captured fetch, and look how close it is. That's what's making these extra large, the proximity, thanks to, again, the jet stream, which helps in the formation of storms and steers them once they get going, once they're spinning down there on the surface. Of course, the monster of them all, and this guy really actually was kind of hinting even 12 days ago. I initially had readings of 30 feet, 18 seconds, which would have meant a potential 100-foot face at Jaws if that model fantasy played out. Never did, of course, but we're still looking really good. 18-foot seas out of this guy. It had some hurricane force winds. This is today, Sunday. It's going to be a captured fetch, a following fetch, meaning the ascent of the storm, the movement of it tracks right towards Hawaii. So the fetch on its flank, it gets all the energy it needs to maximize its potential. Start in the animation. Look at that guy build. It actually splits up. The parent low makes its way towards us, fairly close too. I mean, look at this. It nearly touches us. So that thing did split into two. And then that last one with the captured fetch is almost right on top of us, and thus the big seas. The initial seas, when it first started, were about 35 feet. Open ocean swells lose about half their height every 1,000 miles. But normally they have a couple thousand miles to degrade, but not now. And thus, this thing, 15 to 25 is what we're claiming. Pe'ahi would probably hit 30, and we will wait and see. The Kurils, Kamchatka, a nice solid system. Should be filling in this Sunday with long periods. Oh, by the way, this prior storm is going to be filling in actually the solid 12 feet with 20-second forerunners Tuesday afternoon, peaking Wednesday at 25 feet this coming. So let's roll through these again. This system right here, even though it has an east track, it develops, and as it ends its journey into the Gulf next week, we'll still see some 8, maybe 10 footers out of it Sunday, Monday. But take a look at all these storms and how close they get. This is the one that brought us in right here. That's the one that brought us in 15, 18 footers today. Starting in the animation again, you see those. This is the big one here. We may not see something like this for the rest of the season. All right, taking a look at the jet. It is powerful, man. There's see these darker gray pockets of winds up there with these large upper scale wind flows of 30, 35,000 feet up. We are looking at this being over 200, about 220 knot winds, getting almost near our longitudes at about 160. Here's the date line right here, so it's a lot of power. In the animation, you can see how it dips right down on top of us, is steering that one big one here in the upcoming week right down on top of us. There's that split I was talking about heading up into the Gulf of Alaska, the west coast, seeing a lot of high pressures and boy, some crazy winds and fires over there. Again, all thanks to this setup you're seeing. Now the jet, look at that split here, and this is Thursday the 14th. So again, enough energy to get that next swell in for Sunday, Monday. The pipe is going to score that last one. The winds are expected to be perfectly east with 8, maybe 10 feet. For sure 8. Pipe could finish in a great style. And so anyway, here we go. Take a look. Good energy coming off of Japan again with severe breaks in the jet. And in the long haul, it looks like those breaks are going to continue. And it looks like some more big surf is going to continue well into December, as it seems like it's going to be following the sort of same pattern. Take a look at this long term here with, again, another split. Taking a look at actual quick scat data. These are the actual winds. You can see here we are right here about smack dab in the middle. Here's that batch of winds. These are, again, there's the models that I was showing you, and then click in here. You can see there's some severe winds up there, severe gales, and even higher up to over 50 knot little pockets. And those purples again are the 45 knot severe gales and producing the swell that we're seeing today. And it was all thanks to, again, how close it got to us, that following fetch. Alrighty, here's the swell periods. You can see these little dark red. Well, those are the 17-second forerunners we saw in this last swell that, according to this, has peaked. But man, I'll tell you, the waves this afternoon, this Sunday, they're whomping it out of control. Guys out at the bay, but most of it's unruly and pretty much washed out for the regular zones. Rolling in the animation, here comes the big one here for Tuesday, building Tuesday and Wednesday. And then here comes the next one. Decent long period, fat forerunners for Sunday, Monday. And hopefully the pipe will have a chance to finish that up. If you can't get the next 3 days of competition in between these giant swells and the sketchy winds, we have another front moving in here, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. But that's a pretty good run of surf, I'd say. Okay, the South Pack, this is going back last Sunday. This guy right here, these couple of fetches that are passing off to south, kind of a zonal flow. They sent us up some 1.5 foot, 15-second south-southwest here this past few days, and we actually did see a couple head high waves at Diamond Head from this guy, and the lines were nice and the winds were interesting. I'll put it that way. You can see there's really not a whole lot going on. The blues where we like the reds over here to the east coast of New Zealand. So, it's been really active for this time of year. And it looks like we'll have some still off and on periods throughout December. Actually wasted chest high waves. Okay, now this is the current model run. So here's another one, a zonal flow, right in that zone we like it. It kind of petered out, but we'll still see some. Now this is Monday, Tuesday, and the models, the Wave Watch 3 are forecasting a little bit of a half a foot of swell at maybe 17 seconds south-southwest on the 18th, which is a Monday, the same time the North Shore fires. This little swell will peak out just a foot of open ocean swell in 15 or 16 seconds. That means 2 feet, maybe 2.5 for the top moments through Tuesday the 19th and 20th. Let's see if we get anything else. Quiets down, we do see a little bit of something pop here, and that's the 15th, so maybe the 23rd. You got to add about 7 days to these. Certainly nothing to write home about, but certainly something to ride. Okay, see all those big periods rolling down from the North Pack, as I was showing you from the North Pack above the equator. And as we kick these in, you can see a little bit of something I was just pointing to making its way up for us for a week from Monday. And it gets overshadowed by the whomper that we're getting from the North Pack. But these don't cancel each other out if that thought crossed your mind. Those little southwesters will still make their way up. As far as the jet down under, you can see it's pretty weak energy, especially when you're looking at, you need to see purples like over here, South America, Chile. But again, that's steering storms right into them. So a lot of times they're, it's just big out of control storm surf. Let's go ahead and click these in. You can see again, high pressures, more dominant zonal flow west to east. We like them to point up our way, and take a look at that high pressure area right there. The northern branch, we typically don't get much, but if you look here late in the forecast, the Monday the 18th, looks like, well, we'll see what pans out. This is too far in advance, but this could bring us a little south-southwest swell for Christmas Day. The hand-drawn surface charts to give you a picture of what's going on. High pressure has been pushed down on top of us with the ridge. Even though they are still around, there's that front, that blue line is the front moving down. It's kind of dissipating now, and it actually hasn't been that wet at all. There's a stronger front moving down. You see this right here. That's associated with the low pressures that are bringing us in our double to triple extra large swell. So this next front going to be coming in, and with periods of showers and cool, breezy, dry north winds Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, it's going to be storm surf. Hate to say it, 25 feet too. Unsettled weather towards the end of the week as a low pressure system develops near the islands. We'll wait and see on that. But it's overall right now shallow moisture associated with that blue line, which is a kind of a stall dissipating front draped over the central portion of the island chain here this afternoon. And that's fueling mostly just windward showers from Oahu to Maui, while Kauai and the Big Island been dry. All right, let's do some weather. We'll start up with the water vapor loops, 30,000 feet up, and then we'll drill down. How's that sound? So you can see the brown regions are showing the dry sinking, more stable air masses, and here comes the clouds from the upper regions all the way down to the lower regions, the front, the waves, the whole wild thing. Down here is just the intertropical convergence zone. You can Google that for more. If you're interested in that, it's just going to stay put right there. The trades battle, the North Pack trades battle the South Pack trades, and just keeps them right there. And you can often see a lot of thunderstorm activity, and they just stay put. Drilling down, you can see a big flow wherever you see like the popcorn in the clouds. That's where that big low pressure is. And down here is that high. And that's really helped with this long fetch. You see how that's kind of coming down? Yeah, that is a huge, very long fetch. And a lot of times our big waves, the whole setup, you got to look at the high pressure adjacent to the low pressures, because that increases the pressure gradient, allows those fetches to be a lot stronger, a lot more reliable. Here's another view of it, and it's a lot easier to see. Highs are going to be in the mid to upper 60s. Yeah, cold for us warm-blooded locals. And here's another look at it. You see the atmosphere is not too bad for us right here. But again, another bout is on the way. There's that front, and again, it overall dying out. And as we drill down, one final look here, and it's pretty dry, as you can see. So we're in for some serious waves. A lot of times around the globe, the world tour, they have problems with swells being too small. And we have just the opposite issue going on this year for the Triple Crown. Exciting times. Thanks for being here. Catch you back just before Christmas. Aloha.